kinds of stuff. He came out with this magazine. In fact, he had David Mann art before Easy Riders did, you know. And so Kerry found out he could buy Chopper's magazine. And so he had a meeting with Ed Roth's son. You know, is this okay with you? Are you cool with this? And he sort of, you know, was handed the torch, you know. And so they came out with the first issue. I think it was late April or early May. They came out with the first one, and it's a big, oversized magazine, beautifully done, you know, thick paper, and it just looks like, if you leaf through it, man, it looks like the 70s all over again. You know, it's just got a real cool, you know, vibe to it. Yep. And so after Easy Riders folded and kicked all of the editorial department out, you know, I talked to Kerry about helping him out with Choppers, because they don't, you know, over 20 years of knowing everybody in the motorcycle world, it's like they wanted to know who some of these people are, especially like help with advertising, help with all this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And so I've been talking to him, and the second issue is about ready to go to the printer now. And it is just kick-ass. It's just beautiful, you know. So that's happening. But the two guys, there's two guys that own Choppers Magazine, and the one guy came in because he was really, you know, the money guy.
Yeah. That
helped them put the whole thing together. And Kerry and this guy, they just don't see eye to eye. So, hey, listen, everybody. If you're out there and you want to own a third of Choppers Magazine, you can own it. $60,000.
Oh, and listen, I gotta tell you, like, from my thing too, because you know, I'm a history guy about old magazines. I have a sick collection of a lot of the, like, back when just regular motorcycle magazines, once a year they would do a Chopper issue. Yep. You know what I mean? And like when I heard you guys were doing this, I was so fired up about it. I was like, man, this is the baddest shit ever. And to know that this thing is up for sale as I'm coming into winter, like, this is the time, if you don't realize this is the time when magazine publishers start selling motorcycles. Yep. Right at the beginning of winter, and we pray to God that we're going to make it to Daytona. But man, if this wasn't almost November, but how cool, man. How much history, and like, I can't wait to see what you guys do with this thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it really does. If you go through it, you'd say, God, did this come out in the 70s or something? Because even the photography, you just swear that it's, you know, not a brand new magazine that just came out.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. He came to me this afternoon and he said, hey, baby,
can we come up with an extra 60? Like, what's up? What I got in hold?
As soon as he said Choppers Magazine is a part of it is for sale, I just kind of put my head down and I knew exactly what was coming.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what's interesting is the first issue came out, and they are selling all of these T-shirts and hats and all this swag stuff. You know, Kerry will put an image on Instagram, right? Yeah. And it'll be like a chopper going down a road, but between the handlebars is this bright yellow Choppers Magazine hat that's just flapping in the breeze. And all of a sudden he'll get hundreds of orders from this one. It's amazing. It's like people want to wear this stuff, you know. It's got a nostalgia to it, you know, right off the bat. So the first issue is pretty much sold out, you know, and off we go with the second one. So I think it's a great idea, and with Easy Riders being gone, there's a definite hole.
Oh, absolutely.
That biker lifestyle thing. I mean, there's you, Chris, and that's it. There's look at what's left.
And you know, I mean, I gotta say this too, because people will think that, like, you know, I might actually sit back and think that that's a good thing that it comes down to us, you know, but I don't, man. I don't, because this whole thing, being the magazine, is a celebration of the culture. You know what I mean? And like, we can't cover all of it. We're never going to get to all of it. We can't find, everyone that deserves to have a story about their bike, about what they do, about their artwork. We can't do all that of ourselves. It's going to kill Heather. I mean, it's fast on track at killing her to begin with. But it breaks my heart that Easy Riders, with all that history, man, like, you think about, I grew up in that magazine.
Yeah, that's where,
it
started.
So many people grew up with that. Yeah. And I think that's the saddest thing. It was an icon. And I hate that I had to use the word was.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really true. I mean, we all grew up reading it. I remember I grew up in Miami, and I would go to this little Italian deli that for some strange reason sold magazines as well. And they had Easy Riders, and they weren't hip to the fact there were girls in it. So I could be 15 and walk in there and buy one, It was neat.
Oh man, I remember the first time I made it to the rock shop, right? And for a lot of people that might not know this, the guy that owns the rock shop, which is like, it's an absolute destination to go to the rock shop on the weekends when you're in California. Like, it's an absolute motorcycle destination, totally far out. He's originally from Pittsburgh, so I got to spend a lot of cool time with him and hear all his old stories and stuff. And one of the things I was so happy to be there for that he shared with us was, he goes, "So you're a magazine guy, huh?" And I showed him my magazine. I was all proud. And he goes, I remember when another couple guys first started coming around saying that they were going to do a magazine. He said they drag those magazines up here every once in a while. And he was talking about the very beginnings of Easy Rider.
Sure. I mean, right across from the rock store right there, if you look right across the street and down, there's a mobile home park. And it's like weird because like it's the most beautiful area, right? And yet there's this mobile home park. That's where Lou Kimsey lived.
Oh, right on.
The guy who was the first editor of Easy Riders, he lived right there. And so it makes perfect sense that he would have wandered on in there and brought a magazine,
Yep.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's awesome. So Brenda and Jack DeGazio would like to know, can they subscribe to Choppers Magazine?
Yeah, where do they go? What do they do?
Yes, all you got to do is go to choppersmagazine.com. You'll see all the swag for sale. You see the magazine for sale. You can subscribe to it. It comes out 4 times a year. And, it's... I'll tell you what else is cool is I snagged Steve Werner. We call him Beatnik. He used to do Biker Magazine and Wrench Magazine. He's working on as an art director for us, too. So it really has that look. It looks
right on.
That's awesome.
You can see it in some of the art.
It is. It is,
Listen, like all the great stuff you're doing, because, to say that, like when you said earlier in the show, but now all that's gone. Your life is so full and so blessed. I mean, you've been doing all the stuff with Charlie on the movies, and I know what an important part of that whole scene you've been for Charlie. But also, I mean, the people that you've brought up and through the industry over the years, from builders to photographers to writers, and I know from my short tenure in this, I know how important that has been, because we've given people a place that didn't have one. Not necessarily journalists, who went to school for it, photographers who went to school for it, but motorcycle people that love this so much that they find a way to become these parts of what we do, right?
It's key to it, Chris, because you can teach a biker who has all the passion and love for motorcycles in the world. You can teach a biker to shoot pictures. You can teach a biker to write, but you can't teach a writer to be a biker.
Right on.
Well, it's a lifestyle that's in you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't. I mean, that was one thing that Lou Kimsey said when he first started the magazine. He goes, he wanted real bikers writing stuff, taking pictures. That's why Billy Tinney was, in there taking pictures. He was with the Banditos back then.
God, I love Billy too. Billy's such
a
badass.
He's the best, man, And so these people that, man, they knew everything about the lifestyle, maybe they couldn't spell right,
Right.
So,
but by God, we figured a way to teach them.
So one of your guys from back in the day, I want to use this opportunity to talk about the fact that in the motorcycle industry, we do try to take care of our own, and we've been bringing a lot of attention lately to the Help Kai Beat Cancer program. And
oh yeah,
horrible news to find out that Kai's involved in such a serious battle for his life. But this weekend when we were in Reno, they did a rolling chassis giveaway with Paco and Mondo and Sugar Bear, and we just want to put it out there. The GoFundMe.com Help Papa Kai Beat Cancer. This was one of the cats from Easy Riders that, like, over the years, man, if you had a bike featured or you had a bike test ridden or an article done, he had 2 or 3 different handles he rode under, and has just been a trusted member of our family, of our community, and now more than ever needs everybody to reach out. So I just want to put that out there.
You know what? So many people know him without knowing him. They'd go to the bike shows, but he was one of the judges every year for over probably almost 30 years, right? Mm-hmm. And he was the guy, if you had someone write a bike feature, it was either me or Kai or maybe Steve. There's only a couple of us that wrote all the bike features, Yeah,
baby. And I know what it is. You come up with those pen names just so people aren't like, dude, you write about everything. And it's like, well, no. Yeah. Cord does too, and so does Ratchet Strap, and
exactly. Yeah, and Kai was not only Kai, but he was Red Baron and Tripper, and he had a dozen different names.
Yep.
So if anybody's out there and they could throw a few dollars at Kai, I'll tell you,
please do.
He's like 2/3 of the way through the chemo, and he's doing really well. And this is like one of my best friends on earth. This guy is one of the best human beings, and he's a great photographer, great writer, loves motorcycles, and is just a solid human being. And he found out, do you know how he found out he had brain cancer?
No.
Okay, he's sitting playing his guitar. He's just playing his guitar, man. And all of a sudden, his fingers won't do what his brain is telling him to do.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so, right? Imagine that. All of a sudden, your hands aren't working right. So his wife Val said, you need to go get this checked out, dude. And he did, and sure enough, he's got this inoperable tumor in his brain, and the only thing they can do is chemo the shit out of him,
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, but he's coming through it, and he's an amazing human being. I hope they raise some money with Mondo and Paco.
Yeah.
And also really want to thank Paco. They came through big time. They built that $40,000 custom chopper for Rough Boys, the movie. I mean, Rough Boys is a great movie about blues music and motorcycles, but it's also got this treasure hunt. And as you movie, there are clues. And you can actually win this $40,000 custom bike and $10,000 in cash. Yep. I want to thank Paco. Paco really came through with that, and Mondo did the front end, and that's the fun. We have a lot of fun.
We sure
doing this for a living, man. It's like who has more fun than us? Nobody.
Yep. Yeah. So we actually, while we were in Reno this past weekend, we just shot that bike. Did some stuff with it on social media, but I got to tell you a funny story real quick because you know how Charlie is. So we roll the bike out of the convention hall, and I find this like seedy alley, dude. There's like a homeless guy with a shopping cart, and there's a tweaker that's like John with us that we have to fend off before we even do the shoot. And Charlie's looking at me, he's like, "Hey man, are you sure about this, dude?" And I'm like, "Charlie, look. People go through all this trouble to have these fantastic backgrounds." I said, I don't want a fantastic background. I want to show how awesome this chopper is. Yep. So I want the background to just like, be totally dark and seedy. And like, if there's something like you can pick out the guy with the shopping cart, that's great. But I could care less about that. And I said, and besides that, I said, guys like me and you with beautiful choppers like this, 9 times out of 10, we were riding out of a neighborhood like that.
Like this, right? just pulled out of that alley. To think of it.
Right? Just fun. Wink Eller is here. Can you even Wink? What's up, buddy? So awesome! No, I haven't seen Wink forever, dude.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
Hi, Wink.
Dave Nichols says hi. So listen, Dave, tell everybody, in kind of short order here, what's the best way for them to follow what's going on with Chopper Magazine and keep track of you?
You'll find Choppers Magazine on Instagram, on Facebook, and of course choppersmagazine.com. You'll find everything about the magazine and how to subscribe and everything like that. But yeah, that's going to be fun, guys. That's going to be another way for us to all stick together in the chopper world. So.
Well, I think I talked to Kerry a little bit today, and in short order, we're going to have him, like in the next couple of weeks here, we're going to have him on also, and we're going to look for some opportunities to, pass along news for you guys and maybe do some events together and stuff. Maybe this is a good thing. Check this out, Blondie.
Do I get to go to the West Coast where it's warm and doesn't snow in the winter?
No, but this is one of your ideas. So we've kind of had this idea kicking around called bell bottoms and bedrolls, and it's going to be a 70s chopper, broke-ass chopper jockey version of the Cannonball Run.
Yep.
So we're all going to stay just in campgrounds. There's going to be one chase truck from the East Coast and one chase truck from the West Coast piled up with parts and batteries and tires. And we're all just going to ride to the middle and have a giant field party and burn a shit house in effigy.
I'm totally down with that.
Oh, boy. Somebody's getting in trouble.
There's there's nowhere to plug in like hair dryers and stuff. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I don't use any of that, so we're good.
I think he was talking
was he
about
talking
me.
to you?
I was gonna say, I thought he was talking about me or Chris. So I have a battery operated hair dryer. I'm golden.
Yeah, Chris takes longer to get ready than I do.
Hey,
it's true. You have way more hair products than I do.
You know what? It's not easy to look that good all the time.
Hey, I've been working out.
Well, listen, Dave. I've long respected you. I've often enjoyed your mentorship, and I'm lucky to call you friend. Thank you for coming on with us tonight, and hopefully we catch up with you again real soon, and we start talking about the end of this movie and when we're going to start doing some release stuff.
Yeah, because we're hoping to have it out in the world by April or May or something like that. Yeah, right maybe sooner.
Right on, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
All right, bye-bye.
Yep, bye-bye now.
So while we're finishing up with Dave, I see the message from Wink. Hey, guys, on my way next week for a heart monitor to be hooked up for 14 days to check out my old oil pump. Wink, our hearts and prayers are with you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't like to hear that one.
No, I know that's a rough one. Our boy Red just went through the whole thing where he had the vest on.
Yeah.
24 hours a day in case he needed that quick jump.
Yep. Oh. Well, he did jump a couple cars with it though. It worked out pretty good for him.
Oh my goodness. So we're running long on the hour. I think we're going to hurry up and bring up our next guest because he's probably waiting. We do our best to keep this stuff. Oh,
we do.
Real quick apology. So the weather is super shitty tonight in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where we're at. And we had a little minute there where the internet totally cut us off, but we're back now. Everything looks to be good. I want to apologize. Of course, this happens on our first night on a new network.
So maybe we can stitch the 3 videos together. Yeah. We'll post it in full. We'll post
There's 3?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry. We'll post the pod. I thought you were going to apologize for the fact that I looked like Rudolph tonight.
You look like Rudolph?
You look awesome.
Look at my red nose.
Well, stop
it's because
looking
it's
at yourself.
5,000 degrees in here.
You had wine for dinner, didn't you?
No, I didn't actually. I wish I had, but I did not.
Or did you wine for dinner? Which one was it?
No, Chris whined about dinner.
Oh. Well, we're used to that.
So listen, just to remind you guys, we're coming to you live from the Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorney Studio every Sunday, normally at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go live with 120 minutes to 90 to 120 minutes of all the bullshit we can fit, some guests, some news, and all the chopper good times we can get down with.
Speaking of guests and news, today's Ronnie Tenetti's birthday.
Oh, what's up, Ronnie? Happy birthday.
We're going to talk to him. Happy birthday, Ron.
But right now, we're going to go back to the phone lines, because we're running long in the hour, and our next guest up is an incredible bike builder. We're lucky enough to have him come into our In Motion show during the Lone Star Rally. We have a show. We'll talk about that in a minute. It's the show of all shows. If you guys haven't heard of it, we're going to clue you in, but stick around right now. We're going to go to the phone lines and try to get a hold of Rick Bray. Rick, what's up, man? You're live on Shop Talk.
All just hanging out, waiting for the phone call.
I'm sorry we're a couple minutes late. We had some weather here tonight that was kicking our ass, man, and like, God, I said to Heather, of course, in classic Cycle Source fashion, the first night we're on a brand new network and everything's pumping and everybody's so fired up, then the whole internet goes down. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Well, it wouldn't be right if there wasn't a problem.
Right? So, dude, so fired up, man. So fired up. The last time I was hanging out with you, we were both doing artistry and iron. And now we got you coming to In Motion.
Definitely. I'm excited. I didn't really get away from everything. I just stepped back from the social media side of it and kind of regrouped after the fire we had. And I'm ready to rock and roll again.
So this was the coolest thing. Like, indirectly, you've been involved in Motion since the very beginning because, you know, the work we were all doing with artistry and iron back in the day transferred over to this show. And then the greatest thing was watching the first In Motion winner, which was Donnie Luce, stand on stage. And the first thing he said, we flipped that big $10,000 check around, and Donnie Luce started thanking you for parts that were on that motorcycle.
Dude, Donnie is the best. And to have a little tiny part of his deal was awesome. He kind of reached out to me and we did some trading for, I built the frame for him and a set of wheels and he built my artistry engine. So, I mean, both of us won, kind of the same deal with each other's help, and which is really awesome.
Right on.
And Donnie's always got something heavy to bring to the bank. So, I mean, it was nice to see an older person in the industry come to play here.
Did you just call Donnie an older person?
Yes, I did. But did you ever notice? I most certainly did. But on the lighter note, did you ever notice his hair never moves?
Perfect.
His hair was perfect.
It's always perfect.
His hair was
the dude
perfect.
could ride 400 miles and his hair is perfect.
Isn't that a line from a song?
And that's a line from somebody we know. And his hair is perfect.
I think it just gets a little bit wider though. Don't it?
Oh, poor Donnie. He's not even here to defend
Thank you so much for
himself.
taking some of the heat out of my kitchen right there. So,
Donnie, brother, I want to go on the record. I didn't say anything about this. To me,
before we went on, Chris had me do all this. So,
anyway, Rick, we're super excited to have you be part of In Motion this year. What made you want to join us on this crazy journey?
I got in the Golden Bolt deal. Great show, and it just got me fired up. And I was talking to Donnie after that, and I told him, look, I need to get going again. I need to get this bike out, and your show it's a great show. I mean, I've never been, and I'm really looking forward to it. I want to expand past the West Coast. I want to get out and travel. I've been trying to get away, and using a bike show is a great way to get out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to tell you, the Lone Star Rally is an incredible show to go to. Oh yeah, it's on an island.
Gem. Hidden gem.
It really is. They will pack 400,000 people into 4 days.
It was 6 last year
in 4 blocks
in the paper.
In 4 blocks.
Yeah,
but it's just such a good show. The people are nice. They're appreciative. They're thankful.
That they put on with it being in the center of town and all the builders being there and like the group of the people that come together and hang out. It's so much fun. The camaraderie's off the charts and everybody's supporting each other. It's pretty cool.
That's the biggest thing. Is I enjoy hanging out with these guys. I've met so many people through this industry. It's nuts, and just to go and hang out is awesome. I actually have a customer over there that I'm picking up a project from him and bringing it back with me. So it's right working out really good.
That's awesome.
Well,
so
let's set the scene for a minute for people who don't know what we're talking about. So we do a show, Galveston, Texas, like we're talking about. It's called In Motion, and here's the deal: $10,000 prize. One person walks away from it with the prize, but this is not your standard show, and I'm going to tell you why. Right? So here you can see our first and only announced builder right now is you, Rick. And here's how the deal goes down. So we have 14 or 15 guys coming this year, national builders from all over the country. When they get there, the first thing we do is everybody gets on a bike and we go for a long ride. And it's a shakedown ride with a couple checkpoints. This year, I think it's going to be around 70 miles. So it's not going to be, there's no joke about this. When you get back, we have, an industry meet and greet. It's awesome. The bikes go on pedestals in the middle of town, outside, in front of everyone, and then the judging goes down. Now, this is 3-tier judging, and what that means is we start off with the industry. We have people, members of the industry like Dave Pirwitz, Jay Allen, Jeff Cochran's going to be a judge this year. Previous contestants, Will Ramsey's going to be a judge.
Clinton Wallace
is going to be a judge. That's one part of it. The builders themselves is a second part, another 33%. So it's peer-based judging for 33%. The final 33% are members of the trade. So we have guys that are full-time fabricators, welders, machine shop operators, and painters come in. And they come in to help judge the last 33%. So we go as far and hard as we can to make sure that the person that's walking away with that $10,000 is completely justified.
That sounds about as fair as a guy can make it. And I think having the builders a part of it is a huge deal because they understand everything that goes on. And the industry guys understand everything that goes on. Yeah. I think that's a great way.
Well, and I hate to say it, but it makes it so there can be no
misconception,
no popularity contest.
Yeah, right.
You are based legitimately on your skills and your talent and the machine itself.
Yep.
So
and as much as it breaks our heart, because we've had this for both years before this, as much as it breaks our heart, if a guy guy or girl doesn't finish that ride, they can display for the whole weekend, but they're
disqualified
eligible
from
for the
judging.
money. Yeah.
Yep. You have to start the ride at the designated time. You don't have to finish within a designated time, but you do have to go to all your checkpoints. You do have to start your motorcycle by yourself, and you have to finish.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to the ride as much as anything.
Right?
Oh,
it's going to be good.
Cool. It's so cool.
And I mean, it's Galveston. If you've never been, it's a small island. It's
a
small flat island.
Didn't I tell you? It's mine.
It's a small flat island, and we're actually going to leave the island for a little bit. And I think one of our stops, I might be nice and make it a lunch stop for everybody.
But dude, wait! It's the one place is the Pirate Bar. Are we going to the Pirate Bar?
Yes, we're going to the Pirate Bar.
Honest to God, Pirate Bar. We cross off the island to another part of the island down below.
So don't forget your
peg leg. And it's a Pirate Bar, dude.
Don't forget your peg leg and your parrot.
So. I got the peg leg.
Oh God! So man, it's going to be awesome. I'm super fired up that you're going to be there. What else has been going on in Rick Bray's world? Dude, like the stuff that you build is incredible. Have you transferred that into other stuff? Have you been silently at work in your shop? What's up?
Yeah, actually, I build a lot of race cars. RKB is a custom fab shop. Really, it's not just a bike shop, and we do a lot of open wheel sprint cars and micro midgets. So I've been focusing on that to get everything going, and I've actually had a lot of builds and I've done a lot of parts and things that just haven't been seen. Like I said, I kind of stepped away from the social media side of it. I have some pretty cool stuff coming out in the Middle East here next year, and I haven't disappeared. I just stepped back for a minute. I kind of got a little discouraged after the fire, and I lost 2 bikes in that deal.
Dude.
Me and my painter Luke, we kind of regrouped and started going again, and I got a fire lit under me again, and it's nice,
Well, and listen, man, you have always been super, super cool with me with the magazine, giving me your best stuff for our covers and features. If there is anything that we can do, honestly, you got parts coming out, I want to tell people about them. You got bikes that need featured, I want to give that stuff a home. So you've always been super, super good to me. So that offer is out there. Whatever we can do for you, as you're finding your way back up to speed, please reach out.
I appreciate the hell out of that. And same goes to you guys. I appreciate what you've done and what you've done for everyone, not just, me or anyone in particular. You guys get around everywhere, and it's nice to see that,
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a good life at the end of the day. Well, tell everybody where they can keep up with Rick Bray and RKB. Other than
the best spot is the only thing I do is Instagram and Facebook. I kind of keep it small and old school, so it's RKB Custom Speed, either or. And actually, my Facebook is under Rick Bray, so they're just tied together. You can get on there, and I post the good stuff on there, and some of the stuff doesn't make it, but I try to give you guys the best.
Okay, so final question, and this is because you probably didn't know that we brought you guys in live from the end of your ride at Golden Bolt, but it was you, Xavier, Brian Butera, Nick Pensabene. I think that was it, the four of you, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you guys were sitting at a table having just finished the ride. I want to hear your take on that ride.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I understand people think 20 miles on a bike is sissy stuff and it's not a big deal. Until you do it in Hollywood at rush hour at 110 degrees on a jockey shift, long bike, dude, it was chaos. And I have so much respect for that. It's not even funny. Like it was literally a 3-hour ride. Like 20 miles took 3 hours, and that was no joke. We were splitting lanes, ripping. And it was nuts.
Yeah.
Those guys are second to none. I'll tell you what, we stuck together and we made it from the very beginning. We said we were going to do it together, and we did. There was a few little hiccups everyone had, and we all made it through. And I'll tell you what, I made friends for life over that deal.
That's awesome,
yeah,
man.
that's a good group too.
Yeah, and you could clearly see that. You could
Great group.
clearly see like the bond that you guys formed, and I mean that's been one of the greatest things, and I can't wait for you to see that about In Motion too. Is that like
that little group? Yeah,
it's awesome. Like guys walk away from there with lifelong friendships, man.
Oh, that's the whole point of doing it. I mean, obviously that check's awesome, but at the end of the day, if that's what you're going for, I think it's a little bit wrong.
And that's the funny part about it. You're getting ready to present the check, and you have guys that are competing against each other, like cheering for the other guy.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
they're totally forgetting. I mean, when last year the winner was announced, and everybody went freaking crazy. It was fantastic. You know,
this is great. While we're talking, Brian Butera and Tina Watson are both on here. Brian puts 52 crying, laughing icons, and Tina says hair on fire.
Why Brian's bald?
Yeah.
So no, it's good. I think that's one of my favorite things to see that I've seen come out of In Motion is the friends that have been made over the past 2 years. This is our third year.
Yes, it's our third year. Can you
Third
believe
year.
it?
And the memories in those 3 years. I mean, like just the little tiny, the setting the bikes on the stand, Steve Peffer smoking.
Oh, dude, Steve on the smoking knucklehead.
Oh my,
was worth everything we went through.
It was priceless,
dude. So our buddy from Steel City Choppers comes out first time last year at In Motion, and he makes the whole ride.
Yeah,
I don't know how he got back, like what series of alleyways he made it back to the joint on,
but it wasn't the right route.
But he popped out of this alley and hit. When I tell you his knucklehead was smoking, I thought he was picking up extra work, but for crop dusting.
Dude, he parked his bike and got off the bike. It was smoking. He got about 15 feet away as he came up to me to ask me where the hell he was supposed to be, and he was smoking himself. It wasn't just a bike. And I'm like, dude, are you on fire? And I realized it was just from the smoke from the bike on him, and I was in tears. And that dude went out of his way to go find a cop to ask directions to get back on order to finish that ride.
Buddy.
Like it's the determination, and it's in all reality, sure the check's like you'd said, the check's a bonus, but the competition, the drive, the building the bike, the camaraderie, the ride, all the stuff. It's we all live for this stuff,
That's exactly.
It's awesome.
A small world, and to be a part of it is awesome.
Oh yeah,
that's the whole point. Is going home and a month later you're still talking about it, and it's it.
The memories make it worth every dime in the long run.
And it's funny, like Chris and I don't get involved in the judging at all. All we do is the tallying. Like we put the show together, we host it, and we do the tallying. I get so emotionally involved with the builders. Like
are you kidding me?
When Bill Dodge was kicking and kicking and kicking his bike 2 years ago, and he was about to give up, I'm there yelling at him. I'm like, "You're not quitting! You're not quitting!" Or when Moose,
I can't quit.
Right.
I don't have anywhere to go.
Last year, the year before, Chris Moose was literally
working
in the back of the truck on his way from Dallas.
While it was rolling, he was assembling the bike,
and he didn't make it in time. Like I almost cried for him. It's so fun. Or Ryan McQuiston.
Yeah, dude.
The group had just pulled out.
Oh. He is, right?
Yes, he is. He's awesome.
I'm so bummed he can't join us this year, but he's working on it, and he's going to be back for 2020.
Yeah.
But I get so emotionally involved with this. I'm like, you have to go. You can't quit.
That's the coolest thing about it, though. That's I think how everyone is like that. everyone that's there is enjoying that, and they do that. It's just everyone has the same deal going on.
Yep.
Very odd.
Well, listen, man, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We're going to cut you loose.
Don't forget to send me your video and pictures.
I can't wait. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to hang out. That bike is so badass in pictures. I can't wait to be standing beside it.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir.
Right on.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in Texas.
All right, I'll be there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Bray.
That's so awesome. It's so fun. I do really get that emotionally charged by it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, don't quit. You have to go. Are you on your way? Are you on your way? You're going to make it. We leave in 15 minutes. Are you coming?
Yeah, that's a nerve-wracking part. That okay, everybody get ready to start their bikes, and like you stand there and
you hold your breath.
With your fists clenched, you like sit and watch everybody kick their bike. And if somebody has a problem, you're like, Bill, again, I was right next to him that whole time, and it was like, man, make it start, and that was one hell of a motorcycle to be kicking first off.
Yeah,
that was like trying to start a tractor trailer.
And when he ever said,
pedal.
I'm out, I can't do it, I was like, oh, hell no. I'm like, keep kicking.
Yeah, he was. He pushed it, boy.
So speaking of being emotionally invested in something, the Hella Mega Tour.
Man, where's your...
Boy.
No, I need
Where's the gunshot?
I can't find my words.
I just promised Mark that I'm going to do that as often as possible.
No sound effect. I need the control of the sound effects.
Coming up next weekend, where we're all going to be, the Tennessee Motorcycles and Music Revival on the Loretta Lynn Ranch with the BC Moto Invitational. Cannot wait.
Mr. Ramsey just joined us.
Nice. What's up, Will?
Hi, Will.
Maybe Will. Haven't talked to Will in a minute. Hopefully Will's doing okay.
Talked to him this morning.
I had noticed Mitch Bodine had pitched in.
Yeah, Mitch was going to come to Texas with us, man,
some
and
Mitch.
he can't. He can't make it. He
I'm
just
really
said.
bummed about that.
Yep.
Jack Shit is watching. Jack, we're going to be calling you.
Yeah, in like 2 minutes, man.
You better be prepping, Jack. Good stuff.
We're going to take a real quick break to do some business here for the show, but I want to remind you guys before we go to break, we're coming to you live from the Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorney Studio with Shop Talk. We'll be back real quick, and then we're going live to Mr. Jack Shit at Suck Bang Blow.
Russ Brown tent. I actually signed up the very first day and it worked. And they have been nothing but awesome to me. They tracked down tools, they tracked down a jumper, but that wasn't working because the battery was still bad. So they helped me get another one. This guy installed it, he's awesome. And Russ Brown, fantastic. Thank you, man. You're awesome.
All right, man. Thanks to all our sponsors. We're coming into the last part of the show. And, man, the next guest, I can just imagine at this time of night, he's going to be live and full of what the old guys call piss, wind, and vinegar. Right?
What's the wind part?
Blow hard. Pushing
as they blow right through, baby.
I had only ever heard piss and vinegar. The wind was, I don't know. Anyway.
So, obviously, I'm talking about motorcycle MC extraordinaire, Mr. Jack Shit, who is at the Suck Bang Blow. We're going to go to the phone lines and get Jack on right now to get an update. Hold on.
Big Daddy.
Jack, baby, you're live on ShopTalk. What's going on?
Oh my God, live. I'm sitting across the street looking at the Roman orgy that is Suck Bang Blow right now with Hairball on the stage. And I'm sitting here with the master of all things Philly. He sends his love.
Right on.
He said he'll see you at Loretta Lynn's ranch.
Awesome. He's going to be there.
Who?
Yeah.
Billy Grotto.
He's
Billy
like
Grotto.
El Jefe property manager.
Nice.
Bring the tea, bitches.
Philly. Hey, Phil. Where is Phil not?
Oh, Phil.
Where is Phil not working?
Oh, Bedazzle Pants Phil.
Yeah, Pockets.
Love me some Phil.
Johnny Pockets.
I don't know how good our connection is, and obviously there's a lot of noise, so I hope I don't talk over anybody, and if I do, I apologize.
We're used to it.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
How is Suck Bang Blow?
How y'all doing? I'm down in South Carolina. How y'all doing?
You know, we're having a good time up here, as you imagine now, Jack.
Dude, it was like God said, hey, I want to give you a quick day, let you experience where you're going. It was about, I think they said it was 137 degrees today with 100% humidity.
Yes.
It was an exercise in futility trying not to puke today.
Dude, I don't know how the hell you do it, man. I truly don't.
This is
Dude,
great.
Not me, man. I could tuck into the walk-in cooler. It's everybody that rode here.
Oh,
This
you're not
place
kidding.
is packed, man.
Yeah.
These are some riding, partying sons of bitches, you know?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of kick-ass cool bikes, panheads, shovelheads. One guy just burned off his third tire in an hour. We brought the tire guy back. He rolls into the pit. He rolls the bike onto the lift, and he rolls back into the pit.
I love Suck Bang Blow. I love Suck Bang Blow because it's just wide ass open. You know.
You know, you've seen a lot of shit, Chris Mark. You guys have been around. Hi, Heather. You've been around forever. Forever. We talked about this during the spring rally. You know, it's one thing you walk into a bar in another state and you got a knife or a gun or something on you, and you get jumped, tackled, beaten, arrested. Suck Bang Blow. I think we even tried to get this on video before I smoked that pot with that Vietnam vet guy, and I went off to Mars for about a half hour. Have you ever seen a place in the world where everybody is armed, like Crocodile Dundee knives, right?
Right
and
on.
if you get there, instead of being scared, hey, don't be nervous. You don't have a knife? We'll sell you one at the
give
door.
you one. Yeah, right.
They actually do. That's right.
It's the greatest thing ever. Oh, you're a little older, not so fast? How about a nice battle axe?
Yeah, right.
So
It's
listen,
the greatest place I've ever seen.
while we're
And
talking,
it is the original Burnout Bar, man. It is the ride-through, first-ass Burnout Biker Bar. You know,
man, and there's no trickery needed. Like, it's not like they got to have a big posted contest or a designated time. That thing is just on, you know.
And 365.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like we do this and we pop up all over the country. We put some tents up and we throw a party. But these guys live and breathe it, and it shows, man. It really shows. We talked last year, right? What's the first thing they said when we walked on the property? Welcome to the family.
Yeah.
And they mean it.
Yep.
They mean it.
Good people.
Yeah,
So,
it couldn't be treated better.
I got to tell you, Jack, how funny this is because we're all throwing out nicknames for Phil. And I'm talking about Fat Phil. You guys know him from all over the country, Broken Spokes and Easy Rider
Joe
events.
just dubbed him Sparkle Britches.
That's the best. That's the best shit
Sparkle
ever.
britches.
Sparkle Britches.
Should I? He's not listening. Should I repeat any of
You
this?
yes. You have to tell him. Joe.
Why are they calling you Sparkle Britches? Everybody, apparently 3 million people are calling you Sparkle Britches as of tomorrow. They're trying to come up with a lifelong amazing nickname for you. And one of the suggestions, I think it came in from Germany, was Sparkle Britches.
Yeah, Big Joe Milky.
Oh, that's
Big
funny.
Joe Milky.
Big Joe Milky, nickname.
I haven't seen him since the first year of Greasing Gears in Sturgis.
Yeah.
Sparkle Britches.
Bedazzle Pockets Phil, boy.
Bedazzle Pocket Phil.
So you guys got a killer lineup going on this year
Yeah, you know what? They threw the dice. They went big, man. Hairball 3 times, and of course, if you ever seen Hairball, you can see them 6 days in a row, and it's a different show every night.
Yes, it is.
And they're annihilating. I had to leave the property to take this call because they are just crushing it.
Yeah.
And as big as our stage is, the Budweiser stage, we only were able to put like a third of their gear on there.
Yeah.
Dude, they're a lot of
fun. Jasmine opened up for them, and she had a week off, and it was like they must have been in the Bahamas or something. Her voice was unbelievable. Jordan, he did shit with that guitar I've never seen anybody do before. And PK, he beats the drums like they own child support, you know?
Yeah.
They crushed it. It's been a great night. He was hard, Chris. Hard.
Yeah.
And count your blessings. We'd love to have you here, but all the traveling you've been doing, as exhausted as you are,
I know, but
not enough coffee to survive this.
It's like you said though. You know, last year was my first year on that property or in the spring rally.
Yeah,
and those guys did everything they could to make me feel like I was part of the family there. I'm invested. I'm a suck bang blow. I'm a suck bang blow warrior, dude.
Totally can't wait to go back for spring.
I actually just left Peace. I walked away from him, and this is the conversation we would literally just have. And I said, you know, there's guys, you know, it's chess, not checkers. And then you got a guy who, like, maybe can pick a stock. I said, Chris is a visionary. He's not 2 steps ahead. Chris is 6 steps ahead. Oh. His brain never turns off. You know, even if he mumbles, listen to what that son bitch is saying, because there's gold there. Some of it's fool's gold.
Is it right?
I'm trying.
Hey, Jack, I have to listen to that mumbling all the time. I got to figure out what the hell he's getting me into next. So,
oh man, so
we miss you, Jack.
Yeah, dude.
It really has been long. Not going to Sturgis this year.
Yeah,
that had a big hunk of our together time.
Yeah, that can't happen again. Just so you know,
it was for good reason. For good reason.
I say no.
Every once in a while, you got to be a little bit less of a piece of shit. You know? Every once in a while, you got to roll over and say, I cannot believe this woman is sleeping next to me.
Amen. You know? Amen, brother.
Take one for the team.
Yeah, and you do, like, your wife is a saint, so I get it.
So listen,
I'm telling you, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be 17 years old in 8 months, and none of this ever happened. And I'll be getting the handcuffs put on me in White Castle, and I'll just be coming to from getting tased. It was all a dream.
So listen,
I'm an insurance salesman.
One of the things I want to talk to you about, you know, obviously you're all over the country, you're an MC at all these events and stuff, but one of the things that's most dearest to you is the Bikers for Boobies event.
Oh God, yeah, man.
Charity.
Yeah. How could it not be though, right? I mean, every once in a while on a stage, I'll look out at the crowd, and you could see the pink ribbons, and you could just see the faces. And you ask, like, how many people have been touched with breast cancer? And the amount of people is insane. And then when you ask, how many people have been touched directly? Some of you lost from cancer. And when you look out and see almost every single hand go up in a crowd of thousands, you realize you got to do something.
Yep, I've got the tattoo on my arm. I know what you mean.
Oh, my God, dude. And they're just, between Jack and Missy and Shelly and all the volunteers, because it's so many volunteers. It started, you know, I always joke it. I probably minimize it. But I swear to God, it started with 6 people in the parking lot like a dirty dog, you know? And it's the fastest growing on the West Coast. We get literally thousands of people will go on the ride. And it's epic. And everybody volunteers. Everything. We don't take the cost of the event out of the money and then give the rest. Like, they eat it all, you know? And the money gets put directly in the hands, not, all right, that's proverbial hands. But, like, if you can't pay for shoes for your kids, your car is broken, you have a medical bill that you can't pay and they won't treat you again, they're turning off your electricity, we give grants. And we'll take care of those bills, you know? And I remember what the first thing they did was called Casting for Recovery, and I thought, why in the world would women want to go up in the woods and go fly fishing? It was like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard of. And it was like it changed their lives. So Bikers for Boobies is epic. I think it's October 19th, Scottsdale, Arizona, baby. Dirty Dog Saloon.
Well, and this is why I was bringing this up, Jack, because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and you're going to see the pink ribbon stuff everywhere. You're going to see the NFL players with the pink shoes. You're going to see it's going to be pink, 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 and it's awesome. Having a whole month for that kind of movement is great. Having national level charities that are controlling, the outreach of this, it's awesome. But there is nothing better, and this is from the heart and core of the motorcycle community. There's nothing better than community direct charities. Yeah. And what you guys do with Bikers for Boobies is just that. Exactly the people that money's going to, the people that need the help. It's community direct. So I wanted to bring that up just to applaud. That's an extra set of variables to go that extra mile.
I want to throw a bonus on there too, because things are deceiving. It's called Bikers for Boobies, but it's grown so much that men get breast cancer too, and dudes get prostate cancer, and dudes get bone cancer. You don't have to have breast cancer for Bikers for Boobies for us to help you. You apply for a grant, and we'll help you. We'll help you. It's really cycle source. It's grassroots. It's real people from the heart.
I believe we're going to have Shelly, the president, and I think the founder of Bikers for Boobies, on an upcoming show before the event.
Shelly rules.
To talk a little more about.
Shelly rules.
And I heard
she's a rock star.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good about her, and I know that Bikers for Boobies isn't the only thing that she does, and she's in a constant state of giving back.
Yeah, her dad passed from prostate cancer, so we also have the Peace Out for Prostate event, and that's during Arizona Bike Week, and that's grown into an epic ride. Yeah,
hell yeah.
And Lost Our Home Pet Foundation. The stuff that they're involved in is just incredible. It's community, man, and that's why the Dirty Dog's so legendary. It's just community.
This breaks my heart right here. As we're talking about this, a longtime friend of the show and all of us, Chris No, makes the comment, I found the lump in my girlfriend's breast. She died 12 years later.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and that's
it's
how
everybody. It touches everybody.
It touches
my
everybody.
Grandma,
absolutely.
Diane's mom, repeatedly. Diane's mom. It was. It's just pure evil. It's just pure evil. But if you can do something to either help somebody get treatment, or God forbid, help them on and what they got to do in the time that they got left, and make it special.
Yeah, know that they're not alone.
I'm crying in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I want to go to the.
But we've all been touched by it, so you'll absolutely. I'm kind of shocked that we didn't meet Shelly when you guys were in Arizona. Hey, you got to write this down, make notes so you don't forget. When you get her on the interview, the first question you have to ask her, so you can set her mind at ease. Ask her to recap the story of the menage a trois with Diane, myself, and her in my kitchen.
I think I'll pass.
Wow, that ought to be fantastic.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a fun tale.
Oh, dude. So here's
I'm a little scared. Not gonna lie.
Here's
another.
I
was a lesbian.
Here's another quick comment from Nathaniel Neflin. Lost my grandma. Great causes. Whichever rides or events. Rock the pink ribbon on the back of my vest for her. She's always got my back.
Badass.
Yep.
Badass. You know what else is cool too? And it's really gotten out of hand. Kind of started as a joke. Dude put a pink hair tie in, and then another dude put some pink in his goatee. Yeah. And now you'll see 500 motorcycles riding in the back, there's dudes with pink spandex pants on and boas. And I just saw a post today that they're bringing back the bra auction. So everybody, guest people make the bras. They're like art projects. And then you get a bunch of badass, crazy Marines and firemen, and they walk around the place to see which dude in the bra can raise the most money. And then we put their asses on the stage like a beauty contest. And they take it like men. You know what I mean? It's an amazing cause. I'm glad you brought it up.
Well, listen, man, we're coming to the end of the show for this one, but I wanted to tell you, I don't know if you heard this news, but this was our first show going out not only through our own network, but we've been included in the Choppertown 2.5 million. So we got a lot of new people out here.
I love Choppertown.
Yeah,
love
dude,
Choppertown.
Totally awesome. We're totally thrilled about it. But also, wait,
I finally get to say this. Hi, this is Jack. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I waited my whole life to say that.
Yeah. So we are going to be hooking you up starting tomorrow. so that we can get some actual live you going into the burnout pit with all the insanity. So we're going to hook that up, and all you guys on Chopper Town, we're going to bring you some man on the street stuff with Jack Shit at Myrtle Beach Bike Week. So you definitely want to tune in for that. But listen,
Thank
man.
you guys for thinking of us.
No kidding. Big hugs to everybody down there, not just the staff, but everybody that shows up, man. Like all our friends and family. Please give them our love. Tell them we'll see them again in the spring.
There are a lot of people on cool choppers. We're looking for the Cycle Source tent today. I can tell you that.
Tell them to come back in the spring. We'll be there.
Yeah,
we'll be there.
We're gonna crush it. Racing, shit house drags. It's all coming back.
Right on, dude. All right. Well, you be safe.
Guys. Love you guys.
Love you too,
Bye,
Jack.
See you soon. And we miss you.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Truck bang blow, fall rally. Get your asses over here. I had to. I'm on the clock. See you guys.
All right, later, buddy. Oh.
So,
dude, it kills me when I'm not at an event and our friends are there.
I know. So, real quick, Chopper Town, you guys flipping rule. There are people from all over the world.
Right on.
Brazil, New Zealand, Australia, London, Germany, you name it, they're here. It's so cool. I'm a little scared, not gonna lie.
What are you
Need
scared
better
about?
makeup next week.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared, little pumpkin.
You be okay, little buddy.
Okay.
Steve Broyles, I have a friend of mine's son who's in the hospital going through chemo right now, battling body cancer, which started from testicle cancer. Steve, sending our love and prayers to you and to your friend's family.
We have a good friend right now too, Steve Stinger, that they just put him in hospice. He's unresponsive, and it's just a matter of time. And Kenny, I know Kenny leaves for vacation tomorrow. He's crushed. He's worried he's not going to be here if Steve passes. But to his family, God, this is a friend of mine of 35 years or so. So it's just a shame to watch him, go to his end. He's fought it to the end.
So listen, we're coming into the end of the show here. I want to real quick plug a couple things. Obviously, we're going to be at the Lone Star Rally. We talked about the In Motion show, but we have several things that go on down there. Our Ride In Custom Bike Show, Saturday, November 2nd. Doesn't cost anything to get in. It's on the seawall side of the island, which if you guys have been...
is now the cool side.
Yeah, because 6 or 7 years ago, we took over seawall and just made it Chopper Island, man. So
dude, the bike games on that side are so competitive. It's crazy.
And that's the other thing. Like in Texas, you can't say rodeo without bringing that shit.
Yep.
And man, our bike games, they go on for 4 or 5 hours on seawall.
Serious.
That's happening on Friday. Don't miss that. In Motion, like I said, tonight we put the first square in place. Our first announcement went up for the $10,000 that's on the line. Rick Bray is number one there, but in short order, you're going to start seeing these pictures fill up. We're going to do a couple of them a week here real quick and get everybody out there and announce. You're going to start seeing the interviews with the builders, and it's going to happen so we can prepare to be at the Galveston Rally and make this shit go down.
It's going to be a good time.
I'm excited.
You guys
Galveston's like my favorite. Well, Galveston's my favorite for a few reasons. Number one, I love Texas. Number two, it's kind of our closeout event for the year.
Yep.
And what a way to go out. We go out on such a high note because it's such a good experience. It's so positive, and I just love it. And again, I love Texas.
And one of my favorites too, just the event itself, the camaraderie, watching In Motion. The drive there and back with Jeff Cochran is always epic.
Right on.
Like, dude, if somebody with some weed, if somebody put a camera in that truck on the way to and from Texas, God would be in so much trouble. It'd be fantastic. But the whole event, the surroundings, just to see Clinton and Bobby, and to see the builders that come in and what they present, and everybody helping everybody's just so awesome.
He's full of it. He just wants to go to Landry's.
No, that too. I mean, hey, don't
come on now.
Don't lie, because I'm sure Jeff and Clinton and everybody. Hey, maybe this is the year we actually talk Cochran into building a long bike.
Right,
Clinton, get your game on. Yep. Come on,
bring your A game.
I need
everybody.
help.
Oh, listen, man, I want to tell everybody from our Cycle Source family that's been here with us for the whole 2 years of developing Shop Talk, and everyone from our new family from Chopper Town, thank you so much for for coming in and sharing some time with us. Remember, you can help us keep Shop Talk going further by sharing. Make sure you hit the little notification button so that when we go live, you know that it's going live. We're going to be bringing you all kind of stuff through Chopper Town in conjunction with them. Look forward to a long relationship with them. Until then, remember, every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we make an announcement that Mark and I are doing a 38-hour drive to a bike show, we'll bring you another episode of Shop Talk, some news, some entertainment.
Oh, can I give a little sneak peek at one of our Sunday guests?
Go ahead.
I'm very excited. Chris Summer Simmons is going to be joining us on Sunday.
Nice.
I'm very excited about that one. She's such a cool lady and has some great stories. And she was a publisher for quite a long time, too.
Yeah, buddy. She was one of the OGs.
Speaking of our 36-hour ride, we have to toss a little thanks to Russ there for helping us with the alternator and stuff.
Yep.
And letting us bash him on a little video. That was good stuff. So
yeah, buddy, out in the middle of God knows where, we're calling our Napa guy back home saying, hey, man, we need to hook up.
Make this happen. Always does. Gotta love the guy.
So until then, the next time, it's going to be me and Mark in Tennessee. And then shortly after that, Heather and I at Willie's for Chopper Time. Both those things are coming up super fast. We hope to see you there, and we look forward to seeing you every week on Shop Talk. Same Chopper time.
Same Chopper channel.
Peace out.
I love this show.